hands of Islamist extremist Boko Haram. And now to some foreign stories. Riot police have fired tear gas and baton-charged protesters in Hong Kong as a tense standoff turned violent on the 12th week of protest. Thousands of demonstrators, many in hard hats and gas masks, marched through the industrial Kung Tong area on Saturday and were met by the police. Some protesters launched stones from slingshots, prompting police to charge. The demonstrations were sparked by an extradition bill but have since morphed into broader anti-government protest. The protesters on Saturday faced off with the police for several hours outside a police station in Kung Tong, having constructed barricades from bamboo poles and traffic barriers. French President Emmanuel Macron hosted his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump for a previously unscheduled lunch ahead of the official opening of the G7 summit in southwest France. The surprise lunch appeared to be an attempt by Macron to get the summit off on a good footing after a tense build-up in which Trump and EU leaders traded threats of trade war. Macron called Trump a very special guest. He said that they will be dismissing a raid on pressing international issues, including the standoff with Iran over its alleged nuclear weapon admissions, and stressed that strong coordination was needed. Trump met that appeal for unity with a somewhat softer approach of his own, having left the United States with a dire warning about taxing French wines like they've never seen before. Sports now. Crystal Palace stunned Manchester United with an injury-time win to record their first victory at Old Trafford since 1989. Full-back Patrick Van Aanholt scored in the 93rd minute, smashing in as the ball broke loose following Wilfred Zaha's burst forward. Daniel James thought he had rescued a point for United when he called in a delightful equalizer in the 89th minute, following neat build-up from Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial. But Martial will reel striking the post from the penalty spot, the second kick the Red Devils have missed this week. Jordan Ayew had scored the opener in the first half against the runoff, latching on to Jeffrey Flick on the coolly converting Palace's first goal of the campaign before the late drama. It's now time to bring weather forecast. We apologize for our inability to bring you weather